John didn't pick up the intro or the topic. So hello and welcome to the roast. This month's topic is things that were underrated. Okay, now to real people.
I'm thinking probably Legend of Legaia, which I've talked about, I think, before on this podcast.
Yeah,
But
I think you
it was
did
an
last time.
RPG. It was an RPG, and it's just kind of one of those lesser known ones, but ended up being way better than I was expecting it to. Also, Jet Force Gemini is up there as well. Um,
Wait,
Jet
what was
Force
that last
Gemini,
one?
yeah, Jet Force Gemini was an N64 game. And it was the first game that I played. It was multiplayer, so it was split screen, right? But it was the first time I ever played in a game mode, King of the Hill.
Oh, fun.
So like playing a match type that you have to maintain, a certain amount of time on a hill. But it wasn't online, right? It was just with your buddies in your
Oh.
space. So it's very unique in that sense. So I don't know. I liked it. It was underrated. It had cool characters, fun mechanics. Maybe before its time a little bit.
Apparently it's out on Switch.
Oh, man, I might need to download that and play it just for nostalgia's sake. Damn, that would hit me right in the nostalgias, bro.
Yeah, I just looked it up and I looked at videos and there's one from 2009 and the rest of them are from 2023.
God, it's the good stuff, man. It's the good stuff. All right, you go. Give me another game.
Uh, this is a game that isn't even out yet, but
They can't be well. Okay, can it be underrated if it hasn't been released?
well, my thought is that if they have a demo out, I would count that. If it's a game that doesn't have any, if it's just like gameplay videos and there's nothing you can do to actually see if it would be worth it, this one I'm a little iffy on.
Okay. I get it though, because I think that's a good rule to have, because if it's something that's obviously not, you could say it's flying under the radar,
Yeah.
while people are sleeping on this. They don't realize that they're about to have this awesome game. But that's about all you can say for unreleased things. I feel
Yes.
is that it is currently flying under the radar. But yeah. All right. Okay. What is that? Let's hear it.
It's called Blueprints.
Blueprint.
Blueprints.
Oh, blueprints. What do you do in blueprints?
It's I it's okay, it's very strange. It's a roguelike, but you have to build out a house that you inherited from I think your grandfather. And
This is sounding very what was it? What's the farming sim that everybody likes? Stardew Valley.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you have to you get 3 days in there until you can find like the 52nd room.
Okay.
And then once you find that room, you get to keep the house, but also the further you go in, the more rooms you have to create to get there.
That is a struggle. Okay.
And it's very fun. But it's also one of
Huh.
those turn your brain off kind of games.
I like those though. I think those stand. I think those are healthy. So I support that.
They definitely have a place.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Another underrated game. Oop, I died. Underrated.
And it also doesn't have to be just games.
Sure. I mean, here's what I was gonna say, and I think this might be a controversial opinion here. All right. You know what's underrated?
What?
American cheese.
Interesting.
Okay. So here's the thing. It's cheap. Yes, it's cheap. It's barely even. I don't even know if you can qualify it as cheese technically.
It's that government cheese.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll just look this up real quick. How is American cheese made? How do they make American cheese?
That's something I don't know if I'd want to know.
Made by melting down chunks of cheeses such as cheddar, Colby, and Swiss with a liquid and emulsifying agent. The liquid mixture is then molded into bricks and sliced in packages. So American cheese, it sounds like, is essentially several other cheeses
It's the hot dogs of cheese.
and milk. Yes, it's the spam of cheese. And here's the thing, though. is everybody shits on American cheese. Everybody's like, oh no, man, and it's all about aged white cheddar and Parmesan from Italy, blah 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 blah. But it's like, you know what? I don't put that shit on my like burgers. I
Yeah.
want American cheese. I just want the blended ham cheese. You know, the spam of cheeses. I want that on my sandwich, and it's underrated because it's very versatile. It's very versatile too. You know who also likes American cheese a
Who?
lot? The Koreans.
Really?
Yeah, they put it in their ramen and stuff,
Ooh,
which I've never tried. But Pink has tried, and she said it's good.
that sounds
I think
like
it's
it'd be
underrated. I think it's underrated. I'm just saying it. You know, people sleep on American cheese, and you know, it's a very versatile cheese. I feel like it's just it's a cheese with a lot of breadth in it. You know. Now, I'm trying to think of things that I other cheeses would go on that I wouldn't really like American cheese. And the one big thing that comes immediately to my brain is pizza. I don't know if I would use American cheese instead of mozzarella for the slices. I think pizza needs a mozzarella like base. Maybe you can put slices of it on it,
good. I don't know.
you know,
I,
as like a topping. I don't know either. I don't know, but I'm just thinking, you know, spitballing here. But it's underrated. And I say that, and it's not underrated in a way that not a lot of people don't know about it. It's underrated because a lot of people shit on it, but it's actually one of the most widely used cheeses out there. So,
I like that. That's actually very. That's perfect for what I wanted this topic to be. That's a very
Okay.
interesting thing.
I'm just saying, it's under. I mean, do you like American cheese?
It has its place.
It has its place.
There's a very specific time that you'd want American cheese, but it's not one of those things you could like eat an entire brick at 2 in the morning with
No.
shredding it.
No.
But it has a purpose.
You know what? Grilled cheese.
I was just gonna say that I love.
Grilled cheese.
I have gone an hour-long rants about grilled cheese. I love grilled cheese.
Yeah. And you know what cheese you put on grilled cheese? American cheese.
It's gotta be.
You could put other cheeses on it too, but you need to have the American cheese as the base cheese in the grilled cheese sandwich. I feel like the American cheese is the base. I think it has to do with the milk in it and how it melts really quickly versus other cheeses. Is it okay to maybe bump that up a notch with maybe a little bit of like Gouda? Maybe throw some Parm on that just to kind of give it a little extra zazz. But the American cheese is what carries the grilled cheese to the finish line. And
I couldn't agree
Yeah.
more. I really couldn't.
you know, once again, America trying to bring something, you know, try to get something to the finish line.
It's just a constant.
Coming
Like,
in
no,
clutch
come on,
again."
it's not that bad. Oh man.
Oh god. I don't know. It's underrated. How about you? What about foods?
I was gonna bring up that grilled cheese is, it's
Very
incredible.
underrated.
It's
And it's very
incredible.
underrated.
People can enjoy it, but I could have grilled cheese every day for like a year and I would not
agree.
be upset. It's
I
so
know
good.
people like to say too, it's like, oh, it's like boring. It's lazy.
But
I
you can make
disagree.
it not lazy.
Exactly. Exactly. And you always amp it up by having a slice of, or you have a cup of tomato soup or something with that.
Yes.
And then you got like a little dipping thing, you know? It's great. I mean, some people also put tomatoes on their grilled cheese. My only problem with putting tomatoes on the grilled cheese is if they're not good tomatoes, you'll bite into it and it'll pull out like everything out of the middle of the grilled cheese. And I'm like, well, this was just awful.
Yeah, that sounds a little disappointing.
Yeah.
You could make like you could put ham in it,
Yeah, absolutely. I
Which
put
is-
ham and grilled cheese before.
which is one of the main things that I do. It's never usually just grilled cheese where it's just cheese and bread and butter. There's usually something else in there.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what it is too? A lot of people think it's lazy or boring or blah blah blah, but that's because they're not making grilled cheese the right way. You got to make sure that that bread is buttered and properly grilled to get that nice crispy outer layer but still soft in the middle.
It's
You
like
know?
cooking a marshmallow.
It is kind of like cooking a marshmallow a little bit. You know, the outside needs to be nice and crunchy, but the inside needs to be soft. And yeah, people don't do it. They don't do it right. Some people are just like, oh, I just, you know, I put bread on pan.
Yep.
I don't even butter it, and I just put the cheese on it, and there you go.
The,
It's like
there are some people who don't butter the bread.
that's madness. That's how else do you get it to get that nice like flaky crispiness?
How do they get it not to just burn? I don't.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
Yeah, those are the people who are talking about grilled cheese being boring because they're not doing it right.
Heathens.
So yeah, I would argue with that as well that grilled cheese is an underrated food. Damn, now I want grilled cheese.
I do too.
All right, okay. I'm gonna think of an underrated food. I don't know if this would be considered underrated because I think enough people like it that I wouldn't say it's underrated. But the Slim Jim. The mechanically separated chicken. You gotta have the mechanically separated chicken. What does that mean? I don't know. It sounds violent, but damn, is that taste? Oh, I died.
That's such a concerning name.
Yeah.
Mechanically separated chicken.
Okay.
That's,
Well, okay.
oof.
Well, we'll just look up. Let's look up those ingredients. Ingredients. Ingredients in a Slim Jim. Beef, pork, mechanically separated chicken, water texture, soy flavor, corn syrup, salt, contains less than 2% of natural flavors. Dextrose, which I think is like a sugar or preservative or something.
I think you're right.
Dextrose.
Search
But without
that.
the dextrose, you ain't got that oomph that a Slim Jim gives. It's a type of sugar. Okay, yep. Dextrose, paprika, extractions of paprika, hydrolyzed soy protein, the best kind of protein.
Perfect.
Maltodextrin, lactic acid, and starter culture, barley malt extract. Interesting.
What is
Citric
barley
acid,
malt
soy-
extract?
I don't know, but I know what barley malt is like it's like an herb or something, or malt beverages and stuff. I'm like, it's interesting that they would. Let's look it up.
It seems to be,
Barley malt extract is essentially a sweetener.
yeah. That just
So
it
okay.
sounds terrible though.
Very much used to enhance flavors in foods like breakfast cereals and chocolates. Because it's used in very small quantities, the end product usually contains 20 parts per million of gluten or less, meaning it can be legally labeled as gluten-free. Oh, I didn't know that either. You learn a little new thing every day.
Chinese cotton candy. What? How did I get to? Huh?
Here's the thing, though. Okay, so going back to Slim Jims here. The thing about Slim Jims is everybody says they're shitty, but I swear to God, there's like 50 different types of Slim Jims out there. There's store brand Slim Jims. There's like fancy Slim Jims. There's organic Slim Jims. There's fancy Slim Jims, and none of these are from the Slim Jim brand. So everybody is busy shitting on Slim Jim, but Slim Jim started this all. It's the original Slim Jim. Now there are all these Slim Jim knockoffs, man, coming out here trying to take place of Slim Jim, trying to take Jim's place. That was Slim Jim's place. Why are they trying to get on his shit and then they shit on him at the same time that they're like, wow, that's disgusting. We could do it better.
That's terrible. Let's make it worse.
You know what the irony is too? Yeah, exactly. The irony is most of those don't taste as good as a good old-fashioned traditional Slim Jim with the hydrolyzed soy protein, the maltodextrin, the lactic acid starter culture. You need it. The sodium nitrate, you can't not have the sodium nitrate. You gotta have the sodium nitrate in there.
I gotta be honest. I think I've only had Slim Jims like maybe twice in my life.
Fair. Once again, they're a little underrated. Have you had other stick forms of meat?
Just
Like turkey
like
sticks
as
and stuff?
meat sticks.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a. It's a little meat store in the middle of nowhere called Konop's Meats, and they're very expensive, but they're very good.
So, okay. So that's the thing. Even the meat store has to bow its head and say, Slim Jim, I understand what you did there, but we're gonna try to make it better. Now, I obviously haven't had your delicious local stores Slim Jim. I will say that if you're gonna have something, a meat stick form of food, it is nice to go with a local store because they do probably do it better. They do probably have better ingredients.
It
However, I wonder if it can't possibly taste the same as the Slim Jim.
oh, definitely not. Definitely
It
not.
ain't got that mechanically separated chicken. All right,
Oh, wait, hang
you
on.
got it.
They have a picture. They have an exact picture of the meat sticks I'm talking about. That's awesome.
Okay, all right. You want to share your screen here real quick?
I was just gonna send it in general or something.
Yeah, do that.
These.
Okay, yeah, good old fashioned. They're a hot stick. So okay, so they are meant to be Slim Jim adjacent, because that's the thing too about Slim Jims. They got just enough little kick in them, a little pepperiness.
Well,
It's not like you're just
they have
eating
different.
the meat.
They have different kinds. So there's like jalapeno ones. There's cheddar ones. There's cheddar jalapeno
Yep.
ones.
I respect it.
Also, the outside
It's-
of this building makes it look like a place you'd go to get dismembered.
Oh, here,
It's-
people probably aren't able to see this. Hang on, let me copy this image. I'm just gonna copy this link. I'm just gonna drop it here. Burp. All right, that did not work at all. I'm just gonna download this, and then I'm gonna take it. And I'm gonna open it. I have no idea where it just downloaded to.
Hey, I very much so enjoy that though. You just downloaded a picture of meat.
Save pictures. Where the? All right, I'm gonna do this. Snipping tool. Pin to taskbar. All right, there we go. I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna look at the image. I'm gonna take a little snippet of it and then drag that to my main screen so people can see.
If it works, it works.
Exactly. All right, folks. So these are the hot sticks for anybody that's watching this. So they look good. They also just kind of look like small sausages.
They kind of are. They actually
I
very
mean,
much so are.
I guess they kind of are, but that's not what a Slim Jim is.
No, they're probably the width of like 3 Slim Jims
Yes,
in a
exactly.
triangle.
The diameter, you could tell. Like these are, we got like, that's probably about half an inch.
About, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah. But then you look at like a Slim Jim, and I'm just going to type into Google, Slim Jim cross section. This is for a gun, apparently. Apparently
How
there's
do you-
something called a Slim Jim, is a type of gun from Westerns. I guess that makes sense, because it's really thin.
That's really funny though.
But wait, what came first, the Slim Jim gun or the Slim Jim snack? It has to be the gun.
Oh, very much
Jim
so. It has to
gun?
be the gun. What came first, the
Arrow,
Slim Jim or the
snack,
gun?
sausage, What the fuck? All right. So I typed in Slim Jim gun, and the first thing that popped up is Amazon. 10 millimeter narrow snack stick Slim Jim sausage tube funnel. 10 millimeter narrow snack stick tube for jerky cannon gun maker.
Oh,
Fits 16
I do know
millimeter.
what those are, I think.
All right, I'm just gonna need to go to this.
Yes. Okay, no, okay, it makes sense. I understand.
Okay, so this is how they make counterfeit Slim Jims. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a
All right,
warehouse
that's
full of guys with these, just putting them onto like wax paper and be like, all right, put them in the oven. We're gonna sell them.
We're gonna look at this Slim Jim origins here. All right, so the Slim Jim was first invented by Adolf Levies. I don't like his name starting with Adolf. I'll just say that here.
Yeah, you
In
scared me for a second.
1929, and Phil. Oh, funny. Slim Jim was actually invented by Hitler. Like,
No,
what?
no,
What?
please.
No!
I don't want this.
Whoa,
It was
thank God.
actually invented by Hitler.
Thank God that wasn't the case. All right. Anyways, yeah. So, it was invented in Philly, although he and his partner subsequently hired a meat packer to develop the product for production in the 1940s.
Interesting.
There you go. Joseph Cherry invented the first Slim Jim in 1929 Philadelphia.
Oh, so they're going to be having an anniversary soon. Oh,
Yeah. Coming up. Dude, I want a Slim Jim now. All right. Sorry, we've been talking about Slim Jims for too long. It's your turn. Your turn.
hmm.
Hmm.
Ooh, actually, a fun. If we're still doing food, there's a. I don't know if it's. Okay, it's shepherd's pie.
I don't know if I would call shepherd's pie underrated, mostly because it's popular.
It's very popular, but I'm not. I'm also just thinking like the homemade version, instead of getting it from somewhere, making it yourself at home.
Never done that.
Really?
Sounds complicated though.
It's is well, it's not really. It's just time consuming because you have to wait for some stuff, like
I
the
guess
cooking.
that's fair. Yeah.
But we have a cookbook in our house that's been around for like 40 years now, and we call it the Cookbook Bible. And it has an incredible recipe for shepherd's pie, and it is flawless.
I'm very curious about this. But you know what? Shepherd's pie, I don't know why this reminded me of it. But I started thinking about condiments.
What? Huh?
What's an underrated condiment? I would say ketchup.
Ketchup being underrated.
Yeah. It's
Really?
underrated. People shit on, what, do people shit on ketchup?
I don't think so. I think that might be the most popular condiment.
Probably. That makes sense. All right. Okay. I retract my statement on it being underrated because it's clearly been acknowledged by the public.
What I do
Uh,
think is that what is underrated is French fries with ranch instead of ketchup.
okay, look, man, I'm not a big ranch guy.
No.
Yeah. Unless it's for wings. Hot wings need ranch.
Yeah, it feels like a requirement there.
It's kind of a requirement. It's essential to the, the the entire experience. It's essential. But ranch, hot wing, ranch. I know people that do that. And so like I know that it's a thing to dip French fries into ranch, but I don't personally do it. I would try it maybe. People also put gravy on French fries, poutine,
Interesting.
the French Canadians, some good old poutine.
I don't
I
actually
never
know
had
what
that
poutine
either.
is.
It's basically just gravy on French fries. It's like a box of French fries that you pour a bunch of gravy on.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
And-
look at
and
that.
people like
It's
that.
just French. It's just French fries.
Yeah, people like it. Like it's big in Canada. I don't know. Trying to think of other condiments that might be underrated. You know, I would say gravy, but quite frankly, I think gravy. Everybody loves gravy.
I don't think I know a single person who doesn't like gravy.
I think the only reason that somebody would not like gravy would be because they know that it's filled with shit that's bad for them.
Probably.
And they're like, I'm on a diet. That's why I don't like gravy. But it's not that you don't like gravy. It's just you've betrayed gravy and you're not willing to give it another chance because you're worried about your health. And that one's more a personal failing, in my opinion, than the gravy's failing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm now going through a list of condiments, trying to see if I'm like, oh, I know that.
Same thing I would have said like sriracha, but the thing is once again, sriracha's not really underrated anymore. Like
No,
people
not
love that
really.
shit.
I saw a jus sauce, which is great, but also that's one of those things that has its place where you can't just put it on anything.
True. Yeah, I guess it's too runny.
It's very runny.
Yeah. You know what? Shit. What was I just about to say? Not a jus sauce. Not sriracha.
Lettuce?
Okay. Tabasco sauce.
Tabasco's good.
Tabasco's good. And although I would say that it's because it is popular, it's kind of gone down in popularity over the last couple years. It's not like the go-to thing anymore for hot sauces. It used to kind of be the go-to hot sauce, right? Like
I
you
for a
had it.
time, yeah.
But now there's like Frank's Red Hot and just a bunch of different, like there's Cholula. There's like you pick your sauce. Now not all hot sauces belong. There's no universal hot sauce. Except maybe Tabasco. Because I feel like Tabasco can be added to almost any cuisine from anywhere. Whereas some hot sauces are specific to like a type of food, right?
I
Like
actually
I don't
agree with that. Yeah, that
and
it's a universal hot sauce.
it is a universal hot sauce. Like even things like Frank's Red Hot, which people do quote put that shit on everything. I wouldn't necessarily put that on, let's say, like a burrito.
No,
Would I put
probably
Tabasco
not.
on
It
a
would.
burrito?
I would rather use Tabasco. That's very. Huh.
So I think it's underrated. I think people sit on it. Also, Tabasco does have a type of hot sauce now that's the scorpion pepper hot sauce, which is extra spicy.
Oh.
And you only need a dab or two of that, and it's just heat.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's great. It's good stuff. Yeah. I don't know. How do you feel in the condiment department?
I don't know, but I just read popcorn seasoning as a condiment, and I think that's hilarious.
Huh.
A lot of these aren't what I'd consider condiments, like powdered sugar. I don't think that's really a condiment,
I would agree with that.
but it's there. So I get sauerkraut. Would that be a condiment?
Nah, that ain't no condiment. Sauerkraut's just a side.
Yeah.
It's a condiment in some ways to like bratwurst, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know if you'd put sauerkraut with other stuff.
I don't, what are your opinions on sauerkraut? Because
I love sauerkraut.
oh, I cannot eat it.
I love it. The soury onion stuff, like I live for that flavor. So I'm about it. I'm also not a big hot dog guy, but I love bratwurst. And if you love bratwurst, you're probably gonna have some experience with sauerkraut.
See, I've never put sauerkraut on a brat or anything just because I don't eat sauerkraut, but I've put like onions and stuff on there.
Yeah, I mean sauerkraut is essentially onions, though. It's just like
It's
cooked
fermented
in, like,
cabbage.
yeah. Oh, is it cabbage?
It's cabbage.
Not sauerkraut. It's made of yuns.
Yeah, fermented. That's
Yeah, cabbage.
huh.
I like it. I like the souriness and the
Interesting.
crunch. It reminds me of onions. And I also would put diced onions on a bratwurst, easy.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what else? You know what else with? Some ketchup,
Yes.
and everybody loves that ketchup.
I,
So
I think brats are one of those. Brats and hot dogs are one of those things that are just vessels for condiments, where you're not eating it for the actual meat. You're just eating it
I
to
would say
have it with the
that's-
condiments.
I'd say that's less about the bratwurst and more about the hot dog. Because the thing is like, and it's part of why I don't like hot dogs, is they all have the exact same taste. A good hot dog, a bad hot dog, they all taste like the identical way, which is kind of like a hammy, like, kind of, I don't know. I don't like the taste of hot dogs. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to think of like a way to describe it. It's not hammy, but it's also kind of like watery. It's just kind of
It's
like,
interesting.
I don't know. It just kind of doesn't hit. But a bratwurst can have a variety of different like types, and it can have a like a variety of different qualities. So for the hot dog, yes, I agree, because it's all the same base level. It's hot dog. Hot dog is hot dog. It's not about the hot dog. It's about the things you put around the hot dog.
Well,
But the bratwurst could almost stand on its own sometimes. It's just like a really good type of sausage,
yeah.
you know?
Like
So-
I've cut up of a brat and like dipped it in stuff instead of
Yeah.
if I didn't have a bun, and you
Mhm.
don't really do that
There you
with
go.
hot dogs.
No, I mean, God. I feel
I
like
think
the
I
only thing
actually
you would do
used
with
to.
the only thing you do with a hot dog is use it to eat something else, like a corn dog. It's not really about the hot dog at that point. It's about the corn flour, the friedness of it. That's what it is.
It's you eat it for the cornbread and then the hot dog's just
Exactly. Like
there.
it's just there on the inside. Exactly. Okay. All right. Shall we move on from food?
Probably.
Probably. We probably should move on from food. Okay. All right. Let me think. Something underrated.
Okay, I'm reading through the different names of sauerkraut, and one of them is Zercool.
Zercool. Well,
Zercool.
that sounds even cooler than sauerkraut.
That
So,
sounds way cooler.
um, I think what's underrated. I'm only saying this because I was able to pick one up today. Is a good old fashioned 22 rifle.
Hmm.
Because everybody wants like a high caliber. They're like, oh, I want like, something that could put a hole in a tank and blah blah blah, or something ridiculous. I feel like that's what most people are into when they're like when they're a gun collector. But when push comes to shove, it's like nothing is more fun or cheap to just go to a range than just like a 22 long rifle and
Yeah.
just have fun with that. And I picked one up today. It's nice. It was like 400
Ooh.
bucks.
Well, what brand?
Smith and Wesson.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. I really kind of wanted a lever action 22, but those were a little pricey. They had a Browning.
Ooh.
Here, hey guys. Do it. There you go. And this one came with a little scope on it too, which is nice. And we went to the range afterwards, Pink and I, and we
Ooh.
fired off like about 100 rounds just to try it out. And it was great. It was fun. But those 100 rounds maybe cost me $10. If this was like a 38 or a 308 or even I don't know, like at almost any other ammo that would have cost me, like, instead of $10 for 100 rounds, it's going to be closer to like $30 or $40 for just 100 rounds, and it just gets so expensive. So I call it a range plinker,
Yes.
22s for the most part, because it's just something to like hit something down and just makes the fun pop. It goes ping ping, and that's kind of all you want it for, and it's perfect for that. Underrated.
I could
Because
not
there-
agree more. We have in my house we're also we're a very gun heavy family because of course we are, and we have four people in our house and all of us could be holding three of them at a time. We have so many 22s because they're just fun.
They're fun.
If you
You know?
can get the 22 pistols are
Are
just
very fun and
they're
affordable.
so much fun.
Yeah, it's like $200. You can pick up a 22 pistol and
Yeah.
just like get something to, once again, pling targets.
they're
That's it.
they're not like practical for anything, but they are just
No.
fun.
Unless you're hunted like squirrel. That's about it.
Yeah,
you know?
squirrels and rabbits, but yeah, other than
Yeah.
that, you're kind of just.
I mean,
you're,
it'll
like, spitting
piss.
on things.
If somebody busts into your house, it would still piss them off for home defense. You would definitely hurt them. That's for sure. But it's not. You're not hunting a deer with a 22. You know?
As hilarious as that would be, no.
Or God forbid you shoot at a bear with a 22.
You go out there. Why didn't it go down? I shot it like 6 times. What is this? No.
So I do think they're a little underrated, mostly because people just consider it like, oh, unless my gun can kill a bear or, like I said, shoot a hole in a engine block, then I don't care. I don't care for it. And I'm like, I don't know, man. It's so expensive to go to a range with one of those high caliber guns. It gets so
Yeah.
expensive. Oh man, wait. I wonder if I can just send this here. I'm gonna send this into the chat. They had this at the gun store today. It's only about $10,000.
Oh.
It's a floor mounted. It comes with like a full on floor mount,
What?
military grade, belt fed machine gun.
That's just.
It's like-
I love that. I want that so bad.
And I guess the idea is if you can have an automatic gun, for people that don't know this, you can own an automatic gun in, for example, federally, like in Arizona or in a few other states, especially states that are very, pro gun ownership. If it is pre, like, I think it's 1970s or something like that, it has to be an old gun because you can't make them anymore, so you have to buy it. So, something like a Tommy gun is technically still legal to own, but they go for a lot of money. So,
I would
what
love to have a Tommy gun.
is
That would be so
the
much fun.
automatic gun year? Ban. There you go. Which states is it legal to own fully automatic weapons? All states except for 13.
Wait, what are the 13 wait, huh?
First off, you cannot just own a fully automatic weapon. Like, it has to meet standards. So, okay, so this is it. So, 1989, Congress passed the Firearm Owners Protection Act to prohibit the possession of machine guns that were not legally possessed prior to its enactment. So, what this means is that retroactively, all guns prior to 1986 that were fully automatic machine guns are technically legal to buy and own because they were possessed prior to its enactment by somebody, by an entity. They weren't created after the fact. What this means, though, is those guns can be very collectible and very hard to get your hands on. Like, they have things like, the Tommy gun, which I would love to shoot.
That would be so much fun.
45 caliber. You know how expensive it would be?
Wait,
that would be so expensive. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, see, now, but there is a hack. You reload them yourself.
What do you mean?
I mean, well, that's what our family does. Whenever we go to the range or pick up our empties.
Shells and and then you can if you have a bullet press, yes, you can do that. I don't know, is it? I mean, I guess when you're talking about like 45s, it's worth it. If we're talking about 22s, I feel like it's like not even worth it.
You can't reload 22s. They're all rimfire, so there's not a primer.
They're just tiny little dudes. They're tiny little dudes. Like, but a 45, yeah, reload that shit or repack it. So yeah, I know some people that do that stuff, but yeah. Yep.
We have an entire safe just dedicated to ammunition. My dad goes, there's no way you can shoot all of this in your lifetime. Why do I keep making them? Why do I keep making more of these? I'm like, I don't know. What else are you gonna do? He's like, I don't know, but I need to stop. And I'm like, why would you do that?
Just tell him it's like therapeutic. It's like what's it called? Meditating. You like go into the zone. It's repetitive motions that kind of like zone you out. So no, I'm just curious here. Let me see how much.
He has several notes on how to reload stuff, and I have no idea how to read it. It all looks like it's in Chinese to me.
Okay, so 45 rounds for sale. Let's just see ammo.com. 1,000 rounds. Full Metal Jacket, almost $400. So that would mean math me. Where's a calculator?
Oh no, I don't know how to math.
Calculator. All right, so 1,000 divided by 400. I did that wrong. 400.
Wait, why? Did it come up with something different?
No, I did it backwards. All right.
Oh.
So it's about 40 cents a bullet.
Which
I guess isn't too bad, but as soon as you hit 10 rounds, that's $40.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of money.
Oh, sorry. That's bad math too.
Wait, no,
so,
that's
40.
Wow, this is rough.
times 10, $4. So, if you have a 10-round clip, though, it's $4 every time you empty the clip at the range, which adds up.
Definitely.
It can add up. Another thing I was looking at was picking up a shotgun, but I decided against it because they were way more expensive in the shop than on their online shop. But on their online shop, here, I'm just going to pull this up on the screen. We'll do Zona Firearms.
I got a shotgun for one of my birthdays, and we've been trying to get a barrel for it that does choke, so we can go bird hunting with it. And it is the one shotgun that no one can find a choke barrel for.
Huh. Check. This is what I got. Smith & Wesson M&P
Oh,
15, 22, semi-automatic. Little semi-auto. But, anyways, this is the shotgun I wanted because it's very economical and it looks very fun to shoot. Oh, oops, no, I want this one. A Pup Scout. A little five rounds in a chamber semi-auto shotgun. Why do you need a semi-auto shotgun? I don't know. But if I miss my first shot, I'm going to have 4 other shots.
I was just gonna say.
You know?
Well, that's a very interesting gun.
$284.
That is a
$284.
very interesting looking gun.
So I'm probably gonna need to pick one of these up at some time in the future, because then I'll have a rifle, a shotgun, and 2 handguns, and then I'm happy with that for now. That would complete my satisfaction meter in the firearm department. So, but yeah. But what I really wanted too, this is what I was looking at, is I wanted a bolt action 22, but they were just too pricey. They had a decent Browning there, but it was like $750, and I'm like, I really don't have it. It's not in my budget. Yeah.
That's
like,
rough.
Wait, these are the wrong rifles. Where is it? Lever action. I really want this. This is kind of, I think, if I got a lever action, it would be this. A Henry.
Hey,
Henry
we have one of
Gilmore
those.
Lever action. Yeah, this is a good plinker too. This is a good range gun just to have fun with.
Wait, is that a Golden Boy, or is that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Golden Boy. Yeah, it's just it's nice. It's economical. It's it's great. So, anyways, 22s, underrated guns. That's all I'm saying.
We have a pink 22 that my sister got for her 3rd birthday, and it is like a solid 2 feet long, and it's a bolt action, and it is the family's favorite gun.
It's like a kid's 22.
It's
like a little.
It's so useless, and I love it.
It's like 2 feet. You said.
Yeah, it's so
and
small.
It's just like a little 22 rifle. Yep. How do you even hit anything with that?
We put a really nice scope on it.
Is the scope like longer than the gun? I feel like it could hit that point.
it's like a 6-inch scope, so it's a good fourth of it.
It's a good chunk. All right. That's funny. Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know. What else is underrated?
I don't know. I don't actually know. I mean, again, I have
in
I
the
have
gun
more...
department. It's tougher. The 22 is the underrated gun in my opinion.
And I do concur with that, because 22s are just fun.
Yeah, they're just fun. They're not really useful for a lot, but they're just fun. All right. I'm gonna move on from guns then to something else. What's underrated?
Ooh, I actually might have a movie, but I don't know if it would be technically considered underrated.
Oh yeah? Let's hear it.
And it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I'd say that's a pretty underrated movie. I would agree with that. It's a very good one.
It's fantastic. If I wanted any movie to be remade in the modern times,
that would be fun.
I would love
I'd see that. Mm-hmm.
It's so much fun.
Pink hasn't seen The Goonies. I know, right? I was like, and she's like, but I get all the jokes because like it's just everywhere. I'm like, yeah, but like, it's a classic. It's a classic.
It's pretty fun.
That's definitely not underrated. That is everybody loves The Goonies.
It's pretty, yeah. It's very universal.
Hmm. What's underrated?
Have you heard of the Disney Fantasia?
I have. I had that on VHS for a really long time. I grew up with the Fantasia movies. They're kind of creepy.
There were some of them that it was Night on Bald Mountain, the one with Satan.
Yeah, the one that like takes place in hell with
Yeah.
demons and stuff. And I'm
Where
like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is a kids movie. Don't show me this. This haunts my dreams now. That yeah.
that one constantly stuck with me because it was always the second to the last one, and it was like, why would you leave me with this? Why would you
You know,
burden me?
yeah, exactly. I think Fantasia is one of those movies though. I wouldn't consider it in grand scheme of movies, like in the giant movie world, to be underrated because I do think it has a pretty successful following. But in the Disney world, I think it's an underrated movie because when most people think Disney, they don't think Fantasia.
I
They they
Yes.
think something else. They think, a princess movie or, maybe a Pixar film, maybe, or something like that. But like they don't think Fantasia. That doesn't come to mind on the list. But it is one of the classics. So, yeah.
I feel like there are a lot of Disney movies like that where in the absolute conglomerate that is now Disney, there are so many films that got overshadowed.
True. It happens. But yeah, I don't know. Hmm, what's underrated? You know what's underrated? Mackerel sushi.
Mackerel sushi.
Are you a sushi guy?
I do like sushi.
Okay, what's your go-to? Like, what do you get at a sushi place? You're like, I could go with like tuna, salmon, yellowtail. Like, what do you normally
I'm
go
kind of a basic bitch, and I just go either tuna or salmon occasionally,
Okay,
like a
they're
like a rainbow
standards.
roll.
Yeah, exactly. A rainbow roll. It's standard. It's great. Mackerel is a weird one, and I didn't really like mackerel um, until I went to Japan. And the thing about mackerel in Japan is that is everywhere. Like, all as much as tuna and salmon, it's mackerel,
Ooh, it actually
and
looks
it's
really good.
it's very good. It's a white fish. It's very light, but it's kind of crisp. It's not buttery per se. It's a little crisper than that. But it's not everywhere has it because a lot of people just don't like mackerel in the U.S. for some reason.
I don't actually know if I've had mackerel, but it looks very
Not
good.
all not all sushi places have it because a lot of people just don't get it. But in Japan, it's very popular. Mackerel,
Huh.
underrated. So if you see it, you want to try something different, try it. It also holds soy sauce really well, the texture of the meat. So it's like a good delivery system for the soy sauce,
I'm
which is
I'm writing that
which I
down. I
love.
actually really want to try that now.
There you go. So there you go. Try some mackerel next time you go to a sushi joint. Um. Hmm.
Oh, actually, hang on. I have something that's the exact opposite. What is your take on miso?
Like miso.
Okay, because I do not like miso, but everyone around me loves miso, and I
Well, it's
do
good.
not
It's good
understand it.
soup. It's good soup. But I mean, miso is used for a lot of shit. I mean, miso technically is like miso isn't just miso soup. Like they use miso in a ton of shit. It's the powder that's
Yes.
miso. And the powder I think is like tofu. Miso.
Yeah. What is?
What is it? Fermented soybean paste. So yeah, essentially tofu.
Hmm.
Um, there you go, and it turns into like a paste or powder oftentimes, and then a big base too for miso is it's popular as a ramen soup base is miso. So do you like ramen soup?
Yeah.
So if you have that as the base, it's like I because miso soup at its heart is kind of boring. Just plain miso soup. It's essentially a broth with a couple pieces of seaweed and maybe a chunk or two of tofu in it. It's
Yeah.
kind of boring. It's a little refreshing. It's refreshing, but it's boring.
See,
Ramen is
when I
not boring, but you can use the miso paste as the base. So,
When I had miso, the exact taste that I first got was an old shoe. So I don't know if I just got really
you know
bad
what's kind of
miso
funny
or
is like I could see it in my brain. Like, yeah, I could see where you got that a little bit, but it's that smokiness that I really like. It's the salty, smoky. Salty and smoky for me is gonna like hit all the right points when it comes to flavors. If it's salty and smoky, um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's underrated. Everybody loves it. I mean, miso is like a standard, you know.
yeah. That's what I meant by it's kind of the opposite. I just really wanted to
Yeah,
know if you also like miso
I'm a
because again,
miso guy. Yeah,
everyone
I'm
likes
a
miso.
miso guy. I don't go for it if it's put in front of me. Like they're like, oh, your meal includes miso soup. I'm like, oh, tasty. No, slurp it down. So, but I
It's
won't
not
order
something
it.
you'd go out for.
I don't order it. Yeah, unless it's a miso ramen, like I said, because I think a miso ramen can stand on its own really well, especially in conjunction with the noodles, the pork, the egg, a shit ton of like seaweed and chopped mushrooms because you don't get boring ramen. You want the good ramen. So, I like
I'm
it.
now willing to try miso ramen because that I could
As
see
the
that being
base,
good.
it works with it, you
I could
know.
see that being good.
But miso soup by itself is just kind of boring. It's just the taste of like the broth, and that's it. There's not enough ingredients in it to overwhelm the old shoe flavor.
I
Uh,
said that out loud at a dinner with friends, and they were all like, "What
yeah,
is wrong with you?" I'm like, "I don't
look,
know. I
I
didn't
get
like
it
it."
though. I see where your brain is going to it for it, and it's because of the kind of fermenty aspect of it. You do you just not like fermented foods because sauerkraut and then miso on this?
Actually, I haven't thought about that.
Maybe you just don't like that fermented kind of. Do you like kimchi?
Ooh, I don't know.
Kimchi's similar to sauerkraut, I guess, in the way that it is fermented cabbage, but it's Korean
It looks very
style.
good. So,
It's kind of fishy though, and that's the thing. It's got a weird flavor. It's not for everybody.
hmm.
Pink loves it. I kind of don't care for it. I'm not a fan of kimchi, but just another fermented food.
Yeah, I'm looking through a bunch of fermented foods to try and see if I can recognize them and if I
And you'd
don't
be
like
like, oh
them.
yeah.
And
You'd be like, oh yeah.
one of the ones that
Doesn't
shows
hit.
up is olives, and I don't like olives.
Well, there you go. That's another. Yeah.
Very interesting. I never thought about this.
Are pickles fermented? I feel like they're not.
No,
Pickling and fermenting is different.
yes, pickles are just pickled.
And you know what? I'll say that too. Pickles are underrated.
Actually, yeah, yeah,
I love pickles.
pickles are awesome.
I didn't used to love pickles either. I had to kind of grow into them, and then I started realizing like, ooh, these are great. And now I'll like if a place has good pickles or is known for the pickles, I'll be like, give me a pickle. Put it on the plate. I'll eat it. You know, I like it when people make their own pickles and it's homegrown pickles, and I'm like, ooh, these are top tier pickles.
That was
Um,
another thing I was gonna ask is does it have to be specifically pickled or pickled items? Because
I like a lot of pickled items,
I was gonna say
but in
because I feel like
particular,
pickles themselves are pretty popular, but other items besides pickles I would say are underrated.
pickled foods in general.
Yeah,
Yeah, like pickled onions,
I was gonna say pickled eggs or pickled green beans.
pickled eggs. Pickled eggs. God, I haven't had those in years.
We
Green
still make them
beans.
here occasionally.
Green beans.
Green beans.
Huh.
If you
What does
pickle
that
them,
do to the
they
consistency?
just taste like pickle. They don't have any green bean
So they're
taste.
just like thin pickles,
Yeah.
basically. Huh. Uh, I think I remember trying this, but pickled garlic.
Ooh,
Yeah, pickled garlic is intense and very good. But
that sounds
intense.
like it'd be very
Because
strong.
it multiplies the garlickiness, but then throws in the vinegar with it. So it's got a lot going on, but they're very good.
Yeah,
Um,
that sounds like you could only eat just a few before you felt your insides start to melt.
Yeah, until you start getting bubble gut, start needing to poop. Yeah, exactly. Um, I like. They have some. What are pickled meats?
Hmm. Um. Oh no.
An absolutely pickled meat, and it can be great. Turkey gizzards, pork hocks, herring. Love some herring. Hell yeah.
Hey, where's the herring? That's all I can think of. Damn it.
Oh yeah. Anchovies. Ooh, hell yeah. I've never had. Actually, I think I tried it once, and I was like, never again. Pickled pig's feet.
Oh God.
Can't do that.
Oh
That's a
no.
southern thing. I cannot do that.
That
I don't like feet.
sounds.
All right, I'll say that here, just because it's a big thing in Arizona, in particular in Mexican food, having the feet from like goat. And you'll have like a birria soup or something, which will have a lot of meats from different parts of the goat. Like you'll have like from the cabeza, the head, they'll have meat from that in there and stuff, and the tongue in there, and then they put in the feet, the hooves. Ugh.
That just
I can handle
sounds.
all of them. I can
Ugh.
handle the tongue. I can handle the head meat and stuff. The feet, though, they just have this like gaminess that it's just too much. You cannot get rid of it. You
I
cannot. You try, it's too much.
I've just
But
wondered what part do you eat of the foot? Because if it's
it's
just
like the inside. It's like the in between the hooves is
ugh,
the middle, and it's very cartilagey, and it's not good. I don't know
yeah,
why,
that
but
just sounds kind of
it's too
awful.
much. Too much, man. Um, yeah,
Also, I do want to at least start wrapping this up because it's been I don't want to have another 3 hour episode to try and go through.
yeah. Good luck with that one.
It's
All right,
just it's
okay.
still sitting there, man.
All right. So what are we thinking then? All right.
I, I
Final thoughts on underrated.
I still do have a few video games.
Okay, let's hear 'em.
So one of them is new. It's called Witchfire. It's very new, and it's one that is beginning to
I think
fly
I've
under
heard
the
of this.
radar, and it's incredible.
Single player RPG shooter.
Yes.
Behind Bulletstorm. They did Bulletstorm, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And uh, they've been doing a whole bunch of things recently, trying to release the full game because it's in early access. But for what they have currently is incredible, especially for being such a small team.
Interesting.
There's that. Then there's Grime.
What? Grime?
Grime.
Yeah, I've
That's
heard of that. That's the another horror one, right?
no, it's a Metroidvania game. It's very, it's one of the 2D games.
Oh. Action adventure RPG.
Yeah.
Mutate.
It is one of the only Metroidvania type games that I've played, enjoyed, and completed. The music in it is fantastic. It's made by the same dude who did Bloodborne music, and it is incredible. It's very weird. It's a very weird game, and it's also a very kind of depressing game.
Fun. I like a good platformer. You know
Yeah.
what? Platformers are underrated. Everybody they drift away from platformers because we got all these fancy things to choose from, and now so many battle royale games out there, and so many competitive games. We got Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, and just like all those kind of competition ones. Then you have all your simulator games, but the platformers still kind of fly under the radar
They were very popular for a very long while, and then they
because
just
that was
shut
all we
down.
had. Exactly.
And they're still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you do have some Nintendo it does their best to keep the platformer alive. Like, they have Mario Maker and stuff, and they're like, this is what we know. Like, this was our stuff. So I feel like they don't want to they don't want to leave behind their roots, which I get. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's outside of that, like what you were just showing me, Grime. Like, that's kind of like you don't see too many of those these days. A good platformer.
And I was never really into platformers, but also occasionally you just want to play one just to feel it again, because
I get it.
they're always just fun.
Little Big Planet was one of my favorite last platformers I played.
Oh, I've been wanting to play that for so many years, and I don't know why I haven't.
Fun. It's very fun. It's PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah.
But they have Little Big Planet 1 and 2, and they're both pretty good. And I own them both. Pink loves them too. If you're looking for a video game to get your girlfriend into video games and she doesn't like 3D games, that's how you introduce them to 3D games, is you get them to play Little Big Planet, because you do use the joysticks on the controller, so you get used to using both at once, and then it's a nice transfer into something more 3D. That's how I got Pink into video games. Was Little Big Planet.
I mean, if it worked.
Yeah, it worked. It did. And now she plays more video games than I do, and she plays Elder Scrolls, and she plays way more of that than I do combined of all my other games. She's like a level 5 billion or something in that. I don't know.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's impressive. But underrated platformers. They do be like that.
And then I have one more.
Okay, let's hear it.
And it was introduced to me by a friend. It's called Turbo Overkill.
I've heard of Turbo Overkill.
Yes, it is just the best.
So, for people that don't know about Turbo Overkill, let me pull that up here real quick. It is a fast-paced game, to say the least. What is this? No, this isn't. Oh, this is the stupid ad. Yes. Supervive?
Super.
Alright. Supervive. What's that? Super.
Oh hey, it's. Oh wait, it's another hero shooter. You know what? I haven't heard of this.
Wait, this isn't it. Oh, okay, yes it is. So this has a League of Legends feel to it.
This looks very, very, very similar to League of Legends, but more quicker, I guess.
Interesting.
It looks very, I don't know, it looks like a mix of so many games.
It does look like a mix of a lot of different games. Been playing it for a while. Huh.
Double knock.
It just randomly unmuted itself. That was weird.
I mean, it's definitely competitive. It's one of those games, I assume, Mark, that it's like you're against a bunch of people online and you're ranking and stuff in it, right? Because it's got to click those boxes.
That's what it seems like, yeah.
Oh, it's for free. There you go. Fun times. Well, there you go. All right, final thoughts here.
That's about it.
All right, you guys. Underrated stuff.
Wait,
We talked about a lot of...
One more. Raw carrots.
I would 100% agree with you on this. Raw carrots are very underrated. In fact, I prefer the raw carrots to cooked carrots.
I do too. Cooked carrots
I
are
like the
just
crunch.
not appealing.
They're mushy. I don't like it. I don't like the mush. I like the crunch of a nice, crisp carrot. And even though I know they're made from larger carrots, baby carrots are one of my favorite.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. They're just
I
great.
I just like the form of them. They're easy, you know. But no, yeah, carrots are great. Underrated. Same with celery.
I do agree with that one too.
It's just a nice crunch. It's a texture thing. It's underrated. Although for the most part, people do say celery is a delivery system for whatever sauce you're putting on it. It is one of those.
Yeah,
One of
it's
those
it's
things where
it's a
like you're
vessel
dipping it in
food.
ranch. You're dipping. That's one way I'll eat ranch is with a celery stick. So I mean, why not French fries?
Yeah, that's kind of what French fries are too. Is they're just kind of a
Their delivery system for the sauce that you're having. Yeah, I might have to try the French fry and ranch thing. I might have to try it. We'll see. We'll see. All right,
But
all
that
right.
is it now.
John. We hit all the underrated things in the world. Just kidding. I'm sure there's a lot more.
Oh, there's probably way more.
Probably more, but I appreciate you hosting, and you guys have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Peace. Roast out. Shamalama.